Well, it's that time of the year where I get to pull out all of my seeds. One of my favorite times, really. And I get to start playing and deciding what I want to plant this year, what I might need that I don't have. So I'll spend a good bit of time going through these today before I start my winter sowing. I picked out a few flowers that I want to try to get going this year. What I've got here is some quart storage bags with the zipper tops. I just slit a couple little drainage holes in the bottoms and skewered them through like so that I can hang them once they're done. I'll add some dirt and show you the next step. Okay, you can see I've set up and put some dirt into, some potting soil into each one of these little bags that I've skewered through. So I'm just going to add a few little seeds into each one, and then we'll cover it with a little extra. And my hope for this is to be able to get a lot of flower seeds started without taking up a lot of space in this greenhouse, because this greenhouse is pretty small. See what you think of those. Pretty. I've been wanting to grow them for a long time, but have not done it yet. So I'm just going to sprinkle them in here. Not really putting any particular spacing interest or depth. And then truthfully, I'm just going to come along with a little bit of extra soil, kind of sprinkle over top. Not real heavy. I have no idea how this is going to work. And then that one is done. So that I know it's done, I'm just going to bring this slide a little bit further over that way. So next one I'm going to try is some apricot status. I have grown this before, but I planted it in little seed trays and got a few. It was really pretty. They dry beautifully. So I may try it both ways this year and see which does better. And again, just cover it over with a little bit of extra dirt here. All right, foxglove. I have never had any success trying to grow any foxglove, but this is what I've got here. I figure I might as well try. Now, the biggest thing with the foxglove is if I do get them to grow, I'm going to have to make sure that I plant them in an area where the dogs can't get near them, because they are not dog-friendly plants. Look how little those seeds are. Those are tiny. Let's see here. I've already written on all of these what they are. So that way I can kind of keep up with myself a little bit. All right. Next one is going to be, oh, these are seeds that I saved. These are black hollyhock seeds. I grew these, and then I saved the little seed pods. And when you break these open, the seeds are inside, just like that. So I'm going to throw a bunch of those in. And I know these grow. I've grown these a couple, 3 times. And I'm not going to give them a whole lot of extra care at all, because I already know that they are pretty sturdy. Just throw a bunch of them in there. So I have a ton. And we'll cover them over some. And if some grow, that's great. And if they don't, that's okay too. We will take it on faith that whatever grows is what I was supposed to grow this year. All right, I'm going to try next on this list is some echinacea. Again, something I've wanted to grow before. You can see I've tried, not had any success. I think I just get impatient. And when I'm doing these plants, I tend to just throw the seeds out in the spaces where I want them to come up, but then I don't know what they're going to look like, and I end up weeding them, and I just haven't had any luck with these. So we'll see if some winter sowing will change my luck a little bit. All right. And last one for this little grouping, I'm going to try this apple blossom snapdragon. I figure it won't hurt to try and plant some. And I won't waste a whole lot of seeds on that, just a little bit. If they come up, they come up. If they don't, they don't. There. So now you can see I've got this part done. And the idea here is to just suspend them out in my garden. So I'll show you where I'm going to put them. Okay. So this is where I decided to set these. They're just sitting right on the ground. They do have the little drainage holes in the bottom. and I've got the ends popped open a little bit. I'll try to find like maybe a paper clip or something to hold them open a little bit just so they get some ventilation, and I'll just kind of watch and see what they do. Hopefully I'll have a bunch more the rest of the garden before I'm done today. But this is a new experiment for me. I've usually done milk jugs, and I didn't save enough milk jugs this year, so we'll see how this works. All right, these ones I'll just show you the seed packets, and then I'll show you when I get them all the way done, where I've got everything out in the garden. I don't know how well all of this is going to work, but I'm going to try. See what I can get accomplished. So my goal is to have a lot of flowers this year, just all around. I already have a lot of perennial flowers, but these will be good too. I did decide it was easier to skewer these after they're planted. So I've got some sage. All of my sage died last year. It is a perennial, so it's not supposed to, but you know, it was several years old. I'm going to try some delphiniums. This lunaria is a money plant. I've never seen that before, but I got the seeds as a gift, and I'm going to try them. And I'm hoping I don't regret this. Everyone says this is really good to grow, medicinal, and has lots of good properties. So I also hear that they cause some pain if you touch them, so we'll see. Spotted bee balm. I have grown bee balms before. And chicory. That will be a first for me as well. So I'll get these all planted and go from there. Alright, these ones I have some bigger bags that I was going to use up. I'm going to plant some hyssop. Some of this gypsophilia, like baby's breath. Some more snapdragons, just assorted colors. Some English lavender. Then over here, I have some seeds that I saved from my rhubarb. Let's see if I can get those to grow. Some red hibiscus seeds, which I don't have any idea what color those will come up because I had red and white planted and they cross. Last time I did that, I got a mixture. And then this is seeds that I saved from a plant that grew out of my pond. And I'm not real sure what the name of that plant is, but I'm going to go ahead and just call it pond plant. And if I get some of them, I'm just going to add them to my pond this spring. So I ended up with quite a few bags, winter sown flowers, a few herbs, just a few little random things that I'm hoping will grow. And I'm going to about bet you that at least something will grow. And that'll be good enough. So I'll keep an eye on these, kind of see how they do. They do a little rearranging with them, but right now I think we're in pretty good shape. Okay, I do have at least a few milk jugs that my husband helped me out and cut the tops off, but he didn't get the message to leave a little hinge for me, so I'm going to see if I can put them back together with a little painter's tape. I did take one of these jugs and just kind of hinge it part way so you can see how that's supposed to work. Alright, first I'm going to get these artichokes going. I'm just going to drop my seeds in. And then I'll cover them over. And these ones will get a little bit of water because this soil wasn't quite as moist as the soil I was using for the bags. Asparagus. Broccoli. This is clearly not seed starting mix. This is potting mix, like for containers. That's why I'm planting really heavily. And we will see whether or not anything comes up. If it works, great. If not, I'm not upset about it. My whole theory on gardening is I'll do my best, but I'm also going to experiment, see if I can do things a little easier. Bee balm seeds are really tiny. I'm just going to scatter them across. I'm not going to try to cover those up at all. See whether or not anything grows. And these white straw flowers are pretty small too, so I'm just going to scatter them across the top. I'm probably not going to try to cover those over either. I'll just let whatever natural settling happens take care of that. Okay, so I could not figure out how to put together those tops so that they would fit quite right. Apparently I failed kindergarten cut and paste, but that's okay. I decided I would experiment with some plastic wrap over the top of them, poke some little holes in it, use some painter's tape to hold it on. And this is more the traditional way it should be done. You just kind of tape that back together and leave the lid off and let it sit out in the elements. I think I'm going to put these on the side of my greenhouse so that they'll be a little bit protected, and I'll be able to keep a close eye on them just to see what's happening. Just a curious experiment, see what happens. So I'm done with what I'm going to do today for winter sowing. As you can see behind me, I put those buckets kind of against the greenhouse, and I'm hoping that that'll do the trick. If it doesn't, it's a lesson learned. If it does, that'll be awesome because I've got room for that for again next year. And I'll still try to do something with the tops of those containers. Maybe I'll put those out in the garden, kind of bury them a little bit and cover tops over. We'll just see. I'll put some thought into it, come up with something. But I hope that helps anybody that's never done winter sowing before, kind of see what my process is. It's a little bit disorganized. It's a little bit haphazard, but I always get something out of it, so I guess it works. We'll see you next time, and thank you for joining me.